Hello everyone, welcome back to Punita's Science World. Students, in today's video, we are going to discuss the peripheral nervous system. Well, through this video, you will get to know about what exactly is the peripheral nervous system and what role does it play in the body. So let's get started. Students, the central nervous system includes the brain and spinal cord, while the peripheral nervous system includes all the nerves that branch out from the brain and spinal cord and extend to other part of the body including muscles and organs. Okay, each part of this system play a vital role in how information is communicated throughout the body. So as you see here, I have mentioned every detail of the PNS. So this is basically the division of the nervous system, right? It contains the nerve that lies outside of the central nervous system. Okay, and basically they extend to other part of the body including muscles and organs. So basically, if we talk about the central nervous system, it comprises brain and spinal cord. Whereas when we talk about the PNS, means peripheral nervous system, so it typically considers the ganglion and the nerve which basically extend to other part of the body including muscles and other organs. Okay, so the primary role of PNS is to connect the CNS, means central nervous system, to the organs, limbs and skin. Fine. And as here I have mentioned you that this extends from the central nervous system, means from brain, okay, to the outermost areas of the body, and that is why this nervous system is called peripheral nervous system. Clear? Well, now let us discuss the parts of the peripheral nervous system. So we divide it into two types. The first is somatic nervous system and the second is autonomic nervous system, right? So basically the somatic nervous system is where the neurons are associated with skeletal or striated muscle fibers, right? So this somatic nervous system basically consists of neurons, okay, and these neurons have their association with skeletal, or you can say the striated muscle fiber. Okay, clear? And this somatic nervous system influence all the voluntary movements of the body. So this actually has a very vast influence on every voluntary movement of our body. Okay, so they basically involve in all the voluntary movement of the body. Am I clear? Right. Okay. Now, if we talk about the autonomic nervous system, so basically this acts largely unconsciously and it regulates all the body functions like heart rate, okay, like digestion, here, respiratory rate, sorry, and the pupillary response, urination and sexual arousal. Okay, so basically this is a control system which acts unconsciously and regulate all the body functions like heart rate, digestion, respiratory rate, pupillary response, urination and sexual arousal. Right? Now let's talk about the first one, the somatic nervous system. Okay, so the somatic nervous system, as I have mentioned you, that this system is basically the made up of nerves that connect to the skin, sensory organs and all the skeletal muscles. Okay, and as I have mentioned you before, just that this is basically responsible for all kind of voluntary movement. Okay, all kind of voluntary movement, as well as it processes sensory information that arrives via external stimuli like hearing, touch or sight. Clear? Students, the somatic nervous system is the part of the peripheral nervous system. which basically responsible for carrying sensory and motor information to and from the central nervous system. Okay, so this somatic nervous system basically derive its name from Greek word. So this name has been derived from a Greek word which is soma. The Greek word is soma, which means body. Clear? So this is the general description. You just have to keep to remember. You just have to remember the points which I have mentioned here. So they are made up of nerves which connect to the skin, sensory organs, and all the skeletal muscles. Right? The somatic nervous system is responsible for all kind of voluntary muscle movement. Okay, as well as it processes the sensory information that arrives via external stimuli, which includes hearing, touching, or any visual, means the sight related stimuli. Clear? Okay. Now let's talk about the parts of the somatic nervous system. So this somatic nervous system which is the part of the peripheral nervous system, includes two neurons. The first is sensory neuron, which is also known as afferent neuron, right? The second is motor neuron, which is also known as afferent neuron. Clear? Their function is very important. See, the sensory neurons carry input from receptors. Okay, so this figure is very important because with this figure I am explaining you about you the function of the, or you can say the mechanism of the somatic nervous system. Okay, so what actually happens is the sensory neuron basically carry information from the nerves to the central nervous system. Clear? So they carry information from nerve to central nervous system, whereas this motor neuron is responsible for carrying information from brain and spinal cord to muscle fibers throughout the body. So basically motor neurons are responsible for carrying information from brain to other parts of the other muscle fibers of the body. Okay, so the whole mechanism work in a very systematic manner. What actually happen is the sensory neurons convey input from receptors or somatic senses like tactile, thermal, pain, like, okay, and from receptors for the special senses like sight, hearing, taste, smell, and equilibrium. So basically this afferent neuron carry information from nerves to the CNS, means the central nervous system. Okay, so they are responsible for carrying information from nerve to CNS, means brain and spinal cord, right? And this motor neuron or afferent nerve is responsible for carrying information from brain and spinal cord, means from CNS to muscle fibers. Clear? To muscle fibers. Clear? Throughout the body. Clear? Okay. Now let's talk about the function of somatic nervous system. So its main function is to connect the CNS, means central nervous system, with organs and striated muscles in order to enable complex movement and behavior. So its main function is to enable the complex movement and behavior, right? And also it mediates the muscle responses, which we call reflex arc. Okay, so basically a reflex arc, which shows you an extremely quick muscle contraction in response to stimulus. Okay, which basically involves minimal intervention from the brain. Okay, so this SONS means the somatic nervous system. It mediates or it influences a reflex arc, which is very important. Okay, so all the phenomena or example which you have earlier learned about, like withdrawal of a hand on touching a hot stove or hot plate, or quickly changing the posture when our food is placed on a sharp stone. Okay, so this all is just because of the SONS, means the somatic nervous system. Am I clear? So basically the somatic nervous system include both sensory, means the afferent nerve, and the motor, which is afferent neurons, and they transmit, or you can say they transmit the information, or they convey input from receptors like tactile, thermal, pain, and from the receptors for the special senses. Okay, like sight, hearing, taste, smell, or equilibrium. Clear? Well, now if we talk about the reflex action, which we have just talked about, so basically this reflex action is extremely quick, automatic, sudden action in response to something in the environment. Okay, means this is the quick, automatic, sudden action in response to a stimuli. Clear? And if we talk about the basic examples, you must have heard that we immediately pull back our fingers after touching a hot plate just because of the influence of SONS, somatic nervous system. Excuse me. And closing of eyes when flashed with high intensity of light. This is the means sight related stimuli. Okay, so this high intensity light is the stimuli, and we respond against it. We respond toward it by closing our eyes. Salivation when hungry. Okay, so when we get hungry, salivation takes place. This is also the response against this stimuli. So basically, our the somatic nervous system work in a very systematic manner. Okay, and this involves basically, you can say it involves the carrying sensory and motor information to and from the central nervous system. Okay, now let's talk about the reflex arc. So basically reflex arc is the pathway, it is the pathway of nerve involved in reflex action. Means these all reflex action include a path. Okay, and that path is called reflex arc. Clear? This reflex arc basically involves the receptors which receive message from the external environment. Okay, so here you can actually receive the message from external environment. Okay, sensory neuron which carries the message from receptor to the central nervous system. Okay, so what sensory neurons do? So they carry the message from the receptor to the central nervous system, and then our central nervous system process the message and send impulses to the concerned part of the body. So what actually happens? First, the process of the information goes to central nervous system. Then our central nervous system process that message and it immediately sends impulses to the concerned part. Okay. Then gradually the CNS will send you will send message to the fingers. Okay. The concerned part is here fingers, and then the motor neuron carries the message from the central nervous system to the effector. So this information is carried out by the motor neurons, okay, which then gradually come to the effector or the sight organ, and then effector means the sight, means the concerned body part responses against the particular stimulus. Okay, so as soon as we touch the hot object, we immediately withdraw or we pull back our fingers. Clear? Fine. Now let us talk about the autonomic nervous system. Well, student, this autonomic nervous system is again an important part, and this basically controls involuntary, vegetative, and all the visual functions like heart rate, blood pressure, the motility and secretion of digestive system, the urinary bladder, and aspects of sexual function. Okay, so basically the responses of the autonomic nervous system are completely involuntary. In contrast, the somatic nervous system controls the voluntary responses of the skeletal muscle. Somatic impulses rise in the motor region of the cerebral cortex, whereas autonomic impulses arise in the spinal cord, brainstem, and the hypothalamus. Clear? So here I am writing this point, which is very, very important. So first of all, you need to know is that when we talk about somatic impulses, they arise in motor region of cerebral cortex. Clear? Whereas when we talk about autonomic impulses, they arise in spinal cord, brainstem, brainstem and hypothalamus. Clear? And hypothalamus. Clear? Well, now let's talk about the types of autonomic nervous system. So basically there are two main separate arms of the autonomic nervous system. The first one is sympathetic nervous system, which is denoted as SNS, and the parasympathetic nervous system, which is denoted as PNS. Clear? Well, now let's talk about each one of these one by one. So when we talk about the sympathetic nervous system, usually this is essential for preparing us for emergencies. In other words, you can say the fight or flight responses. Okay. Under conditions of stress, the entire sympathetic nervous system is activated. Okay. Under stress conditions, this sympathetic nervous system is activated and produce an immediate widespread response, which we call fight or flight responses. Okay. This response is characterized by the release of large quantities of epinephrine from the adrenal gland, and ultimately it increases in heart rate, increase in cardiac output, okay, skeletal muscle vasodilation, cutaneous and gastrointestinal vasoconstriction, pupillary dilation, okay, bronchial dilation, and so on. So basically, it makes us ready for the fight or flight responses, and that is why they are known as, you can say, the fight or flight system. Clear? And this system activates basically numerous complex pathways and components so that we can prepare for the fight or flight responses. And for this, it increases the faster breathing, it increases the breathing rate, it increases the heart rate as well as the blood pressure, it dilates the pupils as well as it causes change in blood flow. And this happens because the blood, so that the blood leaves the skin, stomach and intestine and goes to the brain, heart and muscle where it is needed. Am I clear? So this is a very systematic function, and it basically regarded as fight or flight response because this system actually make us ready for the any emergency or for any kind of fight or flight response. Clear? Well, your PNS starts in your brain and it extends out via long fibers that connect with the special neurons near the organ that intend to act on. Once the parasympathetic nervous system signal hit these neurons, they have a short distance to travel their respective organs. Okay, so basically the parasympathetic nervous system means PSNS. This is composed mainly of the cranial and sacral spinal nerve, right? This we have already discussed in the last video, and they typically result in the construction of pupils. It decreases heart rate and blood pressure. It constricts the bronchial muscles. It increases in digestion. It increases production of saliva and mucus, and also urine secretion. So basically, the sympathetic nervous system prepares the body for the fight or flight response during any potential danger. On the other hand, the parasympathetic nervous system inhibits the body from overworking and restores the body to a calm and composed state. Okay, so if we talk about the basic difference, here I'm giving you the basic difference because this is the important point that you need to know. Okay, so the sympathetic nervous system, prepare our body for fight or flight response. Okay, during any potential danger. Clear? Whereas This parasympathetic nervous system, inhibits, it basically inhibits the body from overworking, okay, that simply means it restores the body to a calm and composed state. Am I clear? So this is the basic difference, and this is the important point that you need to know. Am I clear? So I have mentioned each and every detail, and here we have a complete detail of the picture for parasympathetic nervous system as well as sympathetic nervous system. So here parasympathetic nervous system, it constricts pupils, okay, it increases saliva production, it reduces the heart rate, whereas it dilates pupil, it inhibits saliva production, it dilates bronchia, rise the heart rate. So these are the states which parasympathetic as well as the sympathetic nervous system perform. And this is all about the peripheral nervous system. I hope this topic is clear to you all. If you have any kind of query, you can comment us in the comment section. Well, we will meet with another interesting chapter in the next video. Thank you.